Hey, welcome back to Cards and Comics. So today I'm going to do a combination video because I've been doing box breaks for a while, and I want to combine that with the topic. So I just went to the Saratoga Comic Con and set up as a dealer, and it made me think about the two different hobbies I have, cards and comics, and which hobbies bring me more joy. And unfortunately, right now, by far, it's comics, and cards is not as much fun right now. And I'll get into that. And the topic that I want to talk about is kind of like joy. Like how can you find joy in the hobby when there's so much kind of negativity around, and just things that aren't to me great about what's going on. Then I want to talk a little bit about Fanatics, and kind of like what's happening in the football market too, a little bit. So we'll get into it. So I got a box of 98 Topps Chrome Series 2, and Series 2 is really important because in 1998, Ken Griffey Jr. is in Series 2. Cal Ripken and some other good players too. So Series 2 has refractors, so there's there's two in every box. You should also get a rookie class insert, a rookie class refractor, a Clout 9, and a Milestones. And the Clout 9 refractors and Milestone refractors are 1 in 3 boxes. So we got 2 chances at a Griffey refractor, and maybe a Clout 9 or a Milestone, but yeah, so we'll get into it. And a product. So when I talk about joy, so why isn't the hobby bringing me joy? A lot of it comes from not just the pricing, but just the kind of the attitude of sports card collectors versus comic book collectors. It's just not the same. I could go to a comic book show, set up as a dealer, talk to, collectors all day, and feel like, everyone's kind of having a similar experience. And I go to a card show, and it feels like it's a bunch of dudes trying to, create some kind of financial wizardry transaction, and pulling out spreadsheets and charts, and trying to one up each other, and I go to the comic book show, and a $3,000 comic book is like, wow, that's really expensive. And you go to a sports card show, and it's like, oh yeah, my whole table's $4,000 and up. I don't have a single card that's below $4,000, and it's like a 12-year-old kid. It's really, really different. So I kind of thought about it quite a bit, and what brings me joy today is I used to do tons and tons of vintage cards, and my grade that I preferred was 8.5 or 8, and that's just really slowed down. You notice, like, I've not, in my mail days, I don't have those cards in the 50s and 60s anymore. They're just not coming up for auction, and when they do, I mean, I saw a 66 Hank Aaron bring, I think, $3,000 recently. I saw in an 8. I mean, just crazy prices for some of these cards. And I just, obviously, to get one of them is going to be like a major, like a once a blue moon event now versus happening a couple times a month. It's just different. And so what I found joy is just going back to the years I collected, that I missed. I went to college, and I didn't collect a few years, and then when I got out of college, I didn't have really enough money to buy boxes of cards. So there was a lot of years I didn't actually buy anything, and so I missed out on all the cards. And so I'm gonna go back and maybe buy those sets, like this 98 set. I was in college when this set came out, and so I really didn't collect it, and so now I can go back and kind of experience these sets for the first time. And so today I brought the two mix. I got McDavid and Mickey here to maybe give me some good luck, and we'll see what we get. But yeah, so that's the one thing I talked about is one thing is opening up products that I never got to open before. Second thing is really my Jeter and Griffey collections have been really a huge focus for me, and so these cards have this this cloudiness, and I think this is what's going to happen with cards in the future like this is this cloudiness and this that's going to really hurt cards, and so hopefully not every card's like that, but I think there's going to be a few, and it'll make the box a little less fun. I think the refractor cards, if I remember correctly, don't have this issue, so we'll see. So, get into, my Griffey collection. It is one of the things that, I can do. I can spend a lot of money or very little money and still get cards I need. And I think that's a big thing, to keep my collection bug going and feel like I'm accomplishing something. Bartolo coin. There's A-Rod. Very cool. That's again, that's part of the whole experience is like being able to continue to feel like I'm moving my collection forward and kind of getting the things I need, or things I don't have. And and that's definitely been more of a focus in the vintage. So, Griffey and Jeter cards have been a lot of fun. And even in the football side, going back and to those old Topps Chrome sets and getting those refractors of Peyton and Brady and all that, has been something I've been looking at too. So that's been more of a focus. So that does bring me happiness and makes me feel like I'm doing something fun. So that's something that I'll keep doing. So on the channel, you're going to see a lot more of that. Unfortunately, probably a lot less vintage. It's just, just not something that I can continue to get because it's just either not available. And in some cases, I've quit buying doubles. And so, I do have quite a bit of the cards already. And that is something, and so I really need 50s cards for the Mays and Aaron's I need. And again, they don't come up for sale that often. So, that is just where I'm at, so if one comes up for sale, it's going to be tough. Hopefully I get a few next year, maybe get one more to end the year out, but it's just tough. It's not like it's an easy, getting a 56, Hank Aaron is not easy to find in an 8, and prices are just really high. So there's a rookie class. So Fernando Tatis, not the current one, but the dad. So that's cool that he was hot rookie back in the day. And Andrew Jones, very nice, cool card, Andrew Jones. But so the second topic, about joy, because I from other collectors, I like to hear from them. Like what's giving them joy in the hobby, because I see a lot of people not leaving so much, but just slowing way down and not being as fun about it, and kind of talking about a lot of other things besides cards, because the new products just don't interest me, and because it just the cost and availability and just how it's being done today, and that kind of leads me into Fanatics. Now, I've read the Josh Lubber manifesto that he posted, and then I also listened to his sports card nonsense interview, and I actually wrote 7 pages of notes from that manifesto, and and even more notes about when I saw his interview, or listened to the interview. And maybe one of these days I'll go through in detail, point by point, what I heard and kind of my reaction to it. But I'll just give you guys, my generic opinion. Just kind of like summarizing, what I felt is nowhere in the manifesto or in his interview did he talk about collectors collecting sets and actually getting cards to fulfill like needs or holes in their collection. And he talked quite a bit about Milestone Roger Clemens. It's a cool card. That's the one in per box. And this card isn't oxidized or damaged hardly at all, so that card looks pretty good. He didn't talk at all about collecting in sets and people actually getting the cards because they want to finish something like a set. He talked a lot about influencers creating the right amount of product so that it sells out every time. He talked a lot about creating demand by limiting the products. He talked a lot about using influencers and basically the blueprint for everything he's talking about is in the sneaker market, right? So collaborations with hip hop artists and things like that. I think Topps project was a really good test ground for bringing in pop artists into the industry. Well, I think they're going to do that, but do it with, instead of artists, maybe or Stevie Aoki. I think that was another collaboration that Topps did. So I think that's the blueprint that Fanatics wants to follow, and I don't think that they cared all about set collecting. They care about obviously some they care about the retail market, and they care about resale value because that drives hype, and they care about he talked a lot about collaborations and hype. So if you're and just the people he name dropped in his interview and things like that, be prepared for sports card investor to have his own set of cards or a curated collaboration set, and the loot box guys having their own product because they're a famous on YouTube and they break product and things like that are going to happen. They think that's going to drive sales and hype. And I just feel like if that's the way it's going, I'm just going to keep collecting my Griffies and my Jeters, and I don't need new product. Finish out my 50s and 60s cards and just focus there. And maybe I do for newer products focus more on comic books because comic books you can get. I can if you look at my sports card, or sorry, my comic show I'm not doing a good job. My cards and comics show, which I try to do once a week, which I didn't do this week because I was at the show and it was too hard to do. And most likely I'm not going to continue that format because nobody seems to like it. When I combine card and comic content in one video, the views have been getting worse and worse, so I probably won't do that anymore. I'll probably just separate the videos like they were before into cards and content, and cards and comic videos separate because no one really, I think, liked that format of combining it all into one kind of show. But if you looked at those, I always did this kind of like top 5 comic book covers of the week, and where I would go through and just pick what I thought was the coolest 5 covers, or the 5 covers I thought would go up maybe in value, and and just kind of there's our first refractor, and go through and say I love these covers, and guess what, 90% of them I could go out and just buy, and most of them at whatever cover price or initial price they were offered, and not have to get a bot, not have to stand in line at Target for 6 hours, not have to fight people to get the comics. I could just get the damn comics. I could just order them from the freaking people that made them. How freaking, I don't have to go through a goddamn Daksha auction to get it. How refreshing is that? I think Fanatics, they don't have a better way to distribute cards, in my opinion. They're just listen to what they said. I don't trust that they have a better way. All right, here is the refractor. It's a cool one, man. It is the 97 season highlights card. Very cool. Roger Clemens. So that's cool. That's a good player, and I'm glad I got a good player. Awesome. So yeah, I'll put that here. So that's the first thing is, that's the one thing that, when I look back on it, why am I happier with comics is like, in that, I kept, if I kept a running total and I have like over 80% of those comics I put on that top 5 list, and they're all recent and new. And if I did the same list, I said, okay, here's the top 5 modern sports cards I want to go get that just came out in the last 2 weeks. I couldn't go open the product to try to get it, because all that's gone, and the ability to open that product is not, it just doesn't happen anymore. You have to go through all those hoops to get it. But even if I got, went on eBay and bought those, whatever, let's say Mac Jones and whoever, is hot that week. The prices that you're paying for that. I mean, I don't know if you saw that, but there's like, Mac Jones, Donruss base cards selling for $2,000 to $4,000 in PSA 10. I mean, literally insane. 50. They want 50,000. Most likely, like his National Treasures rookie, RPA is going to be a $50,000 card, more than Mahomes. Because all the new stuff, keeps getting more expensive because obviously you pay more to get it, so the secondary market feels like they should be worth more. And that's just dumb, and I just can't live with that. And that kind of was what I was talking about. Football is incredibly disappointing to me because that was the one sport I like to open product and get the newer rookies and watch them play and kind of do some speculation. And that's all dead. I mean, I can't get the product, and even if I wanted to buy the product, it's so expensive. And there's a Clout 9 bronze. So yeah, the inserts has been good. Very cool card. All right, so bam, Bonds and Clemens. There we go. The all steroid team there. But yeah, I can't get the product at a price point that makes any sense, and then so I can't open it, which I used to love opening, certain sets. Like, I mean, my sets I like to open was Topps Chrome, Donruss Elite, and then on the back end, I like to open plates and patches because it was a cheaper rip, and then I always open Flawless. I've mentioned many times, like, I save my money and just get a box of 1 or 2 boxes of Flawless every year. And I didn't get any last year because the price point was so expensive I couldn't justify, because very few cards would cover the price of that box. And it just ruins for me a lot of the fun. And yeah, so yeah, so I'm having to kind of figure how I do things. And with comic books, it just feels like I can get what I want easier. And even on the older stuff, I looked at, like some Silver Surfer comics, and, in the grades I wanted and the condition, and, like, it was easy to find. This is the 3rd Edgar Martinez. I don't know if anyone's been paying attention. I haven't been talking about the cards too much, but Edgar Martinez, it's like the 3rd. Jesus, Topps and your coalition back in the 90s. So we're still missing one refractor, so we'll see if we get that. But yeah, like, it's very, it's very hard to, think about the differences between the two. I mean, if you think about the differences between trying to collect comics and cards, it's like, if you, whoa, there's something cool there. If you think about cards and comics, like, if I try to buy a comic book, like I have to buy cards, I would have to go into the store, get a random box of comics if I wanted Batman or Spider-Man that week. Not a variant, just the base comic. Get a random, excuse me, like assortment of comics, and I get a 1 in 50 chance of getting the Spider-Man, and then a 1 in 5,000 chance of getting the variant, or I can pay $25 and just buy it, which is the current model. And Lord knows that this model is going to change. At some point, the comic guys are going to say, hey, we just don't want to sell you the comic anymore. We want to sell it to you in a bundle that you get a 1 in whatever chance of getting the comic that you really, really want. So here we go. This looked cool. I'm very excited about this. So here we go. Milestone. Look at that refractor. Beautiful refractor. And I think these were, nope, not double refractor, but this is the Milestone. And the Milestone is a 1 in 72 packs. This is a 1 a box, and it's Frank Thomas, which is awesome. So I do think some good luck came from bringing the two mix, and look at that. And what's cool about this is this doesn't count towards my 2 refractors a box. This is like a bonus refractor. Look at that. That is awesome. And I don't care what it's worth. I'm sure somebody will say you go on eBay and get one for $20. Who cares? Pulling a Frank Thomas refractor that's 1 in every 3 boxes from a 90s product is fun. This is what's fun. I mean, this is more fun than open up anything new and pulling a Mac Jones and then flip it on eBay immediately and being like, all right, I overpaid a lot for that box, and I got my money back on that 1 box, and now I'm going to go out and lose money on 10 more. There's Greg Maddox. So yeah, it's hard to find joy in the card hobby right now, and until some of the dynamics change, until some of this kind of wave of people speculating and going nuts. But I thought maybe we were over it because I saw more retail product kind of at stores, and things seem to be dying down a little bit on that side. But then the Mac Jones mania hit, $2,000 Donruss cards hit, for Mac Jones. And now you're going to see people doing stupid stuff again at the retail level, wiping out shelves, jumping each other in parking lots, doing all that dumb crap they were doing earlier this year and late last year. And it's going to get worse again because people are going to say, oh yeah, this stupid product that is a base product is selling cards out of it for thousands of dollars for no reason because people are dumb and want to have FOMO and don't want to wait for the good products to come out. And and so it's going to happen. Another cycle of this idiocy is coming again, and it's going to suck, and it's going to make us all not want to, collect again. And definitely for me. And so I'm not hopeful that it's going to go away again. If the best thing that could have happened, Todd Helton rookie class, the best thing that could have happened for us in the hobby, honestly, would be to have 2 or 3 terrible rookie classes in a row, and people realizing that cards can't be counted on every year as a way to make extra money, and and to the point where you can just rip things and hoard things and create bots and do all this crap we're doing today. But no, unfortunately, Mac Jones is going to make it where everyone feels like, yep, the market's back. I can do what I want, and go and do what we were doing before, and we'll make lots of money again. So it's unfortunate. So last pack, and it looks like I was wrong. Jermaine Allens, Jeff Juden, Roger City. I thought you would get another base, and I didn't. So I got 2 refractors in the box. One of them was an insert, and it was. So I can't really complain because I got a really good insert refractor of Frank Thomas. I got a Barry Bonds Clout 9, which the Clout 9s, again, are the 1 per box. And my other refractor was Roger Clemens. But I didn't hit any base Griffies, unfortunately. I didn't hit any other really good players. I looked through it. I mean, not a lot of great cards outside of the inserts, and so I guess that's good. I don't really need base Griffies, I guess, to be happy for this. Good box. I think I got some good luck here, so that's awesome for me. That I finally got a box that wasn't crap from the 90s, even though the cards are low-cutted. The refractors aren't, and that's great too. Inserts aren't, so they must have been different compositions, maybe. I don't know why they're not cloudy like the other cards are. But it does give me pause a little bit about buying Chrome boxes for the future. And, these products are starting to deteriorate. And I think, we just have to kind of look at, no one knows the shelf life of these products in terms of decades, how they're going to age. So I think we're seeing some of these products are not going to age well. So, all right, guys, so that's the video. And I, talked about the hobby a little bit. And again, I have a whole new dissertation on Fanatics, but I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. I don't know if anyone really cares my opinion on that, to that level of detail. And then, in general, as soon as my video count surpasses my, subscribers, I probably won't post anymore. And I'm over halfway there. So I think by the time next year, I probably won't be posting much anymore. As I don't think channels like mine, which are just collector channels, are very popular, and I think it's just how the market is. Collector channels are going to be drowned out by the influencer channels, and as Fanatics comes on, those channels are going to get even more hype and pub and product and sets. Maybe I guarantee we're going to see a Jeff Wilson set in the future. So. It's kind of disappointing because, all that is, to me, unnecessary, and I won't buy it. So it's kind of crap. But we'll see. So there it is, guys. Hopefully, you guys can find your own way to have fun in the hobby and your own joy. For me, it's going to be going in a little different direction, and we'll see how that goes. And right now I'm having fun with it, and we'll see in a couple months if I'm still there, if I'm going to go back into the vintage market and pay some of these prices or stay where I'm at. So stay tuned. We'll see. And I'll see you next time. Bye.